Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So it's time to record, which was exactly what we're doing. It's time for our July TBR video. Yay! So we have our 15 books that we plan to read in July. But before we do all of that, it's your turn.
Well, thanks for being here. We would love if you would subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know, what is your July TBR looking like?
So how did you do with your July TBR or your June TBR?
As of right now, I've gotten 12 of the 15 books read, but I still have a few more days to get the rest in because we are filming this slightly early. And I know I will get at least one more, if not all three of them done. How about you?
Okay. I think this is the most I've ever done with my TBR because I have read 11. I mean, like, two of them I'm in the middle of reading right now and I'm counting them because, again, we have a few more days. There's one more I might be able to get in. It comes out literally on the last day of the month. So we'll see if I can get that one in. But for right now, 11. So
good job.
Yay. All right. So let's talk about our July TBR.
Let's.
I have a lot of audio releases for July, not as many new releases. And we'll see. So if anything else comes up.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to apologize if the phone doesn't filter out the echo. I am in the warehouse and we echo in a warehouse. So, yeah. Okay, you ready?
You need some bookshelves behind you. That'll help.
That's the plan. We're going to have our bookshelves soon and a couch up here so I can hide out if I need to from everybody and just read. But we're not there yet. Right now, we're focusing on just getting books out the door. So it will have a pretty bookshelf here eventually, but not yet. Okay, so Mandy is going to laugh at this one, but the first book that I have is actually an audio release for the 27th of June, and that's not why you're going to laugh. But I put it on here because I don't think I'll get to it until next month. But it is one I've already read, but it is Honeysuckles by January Rain. She finally has it coming out on audio, and I'm going to have to listen to it. So I'm excited for that. I think she has Corvin King, I think is the male narrator, if I remember right from what she told me. So that's coming out soon, and I'm going to read it or listen to it. Okay.
Okay, my first one is Crazy Love by Willow Aster. The book and audiobook are coming out on July 10th, and that is the 5th book in the Single Dad's Playbook series. So this is Penn's book. He has been a big brother. He's like in that Big Brother, Big Sister program. And I think he's about 15-year-old, and he is wanting to foster and adopt him because I think I don't remember exactly the story, but he needs a home. And so Penn has decided he wants to step up and do that. But for all of the application things to go through smoothly, he really needs to be married. And that is when there's this lady he had a fling with in the Bahamas, and somehow she's going to show up. I don't know how all this is going to work out, but they're going to do a fake marriage to help him be able to adopt this boy that he has been the big brother for.
Okay.
So I love the series. Can't wait for the next book.
Okay. I have another one that releases on the 27th of June for audio as well. This is one I've had on my TBR forever. It's Twisted Heathens by J. Rose. It is a dark, why choose romance set in an asylum. So, I mean, that's all I need to know. It is a trilogy. The first book does end on a cliffhanger. I'm assuming the other two, I'm just assuming, maybe I'll be wrong, but the other two audio books will be out shortly after this one. If not, all three books are actually out. You can read them right now, but I want the audio.
All right, my next book also comes out on July 10th. I actually have 3 coming out that day, so don't bother me. I'm going to be busy.
A little bit.
And this is Somehow You Knew by Harlo James. It is part of the Carrington Cove series. It's the next one in that book. This is Hazel's story. And this is it's listed like as an arranged marriage situation. So Gage's aunt or great aunt passes away and leaves them $5 million, but they have to get married to get the money, and they have to stay married for a certain amount of time. So it's $5 million. So pretty much any single person would jump on that, I would think.
Mhm.
And so they go ahead with this, and then letters start arriving in the mail from the aunt that she must have left to have sent. And basically, she's trying to do some love matchmaking here.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. Obviously, because it's on my TBR.
Obviously. Do you know what I'm really excited for? Audio is releasing on July 1st for Irresistible oh my gosh, Irreversible. Yeah, I know. My brain just is not wanting to compute this morning.
What kind of dark romance would be named Irresistible?
I don't know. One with a lot of Stockholm syndrome. I'm not sure. So, but this is by Jennifer Hartman and Shelley St. Clair. Mandy read this earlier in the year and she absolutely loved it. And I have been waiting for the audio, knowing that it was coming this summer because it's not a small book. And so that will be out on the 1st. And we'll see if I love it as much as Mandy did. I'm sure I will, though. So, yeah.
I think the audio will just have like a whole different feel to it.
Whole different feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last book on July 10th is The Wildest One by Marne Man, and this is part of the Weston series. So this is Beck's story. He's the hockey player in the family, and I wrote down, he meets a chick.
He meets a chick.
Yeah.
Are those
on
my
a long
notes?
weekend. And he doesn't think that they'll see each other again, but they end up seeing each other again. And for some reason, she's off limits. And for her to decide to be with him, she's going to have to sacrifice a lot. I don't know what that means. I am very intrigued, though. I really loved The Arrogant One, so I can't wait for this next one.
Okay. Well, the next book I have is another audio release on July 1st, and that is Broken by Serena Ackroyd. This is another one that the book itself is already out and has been on my Kindle since the day it released, but I haven't read it yet. When I saw there was audio, I got excited. This is a dark romance with religious trauma and some other stuff going on. Savio is our priest, and he was abducted and held when he was young, or he was at least held by a bad situation from what I can tell. And so he has some trauma from that, and he wrestles with his faith and his beliefs over that. And then you have Andrea, who comes in. She actually saw him on the news when he was 14. She's a little bit of like an empath type of situation. And she has been obsessed with him since she saw him on the news when he was 14. So see what happens there.
All right, my next book is Pen by Sawyer Bennett, and I don't know if this releases July 8th or July 15th. I've seen both of those posted, so I'm not sure which one, but sometime at the beginning of July. And this will be my first read by Sawyer Bennett. I've not read her before. So Pen is a hockey player. He is haunted by his past. Emilia comes looking for him, and she is a ghost he would like to keep buried. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah. The next one I have is an audio release for July 8th. This is Seeking Peace by Crystal Daniels and Sandy Alvarez. This is the number 8 in their Kings of Retribution MC. This one is about Blake and Ember. Ember is one of the club girls. So I always find it interesting when the club girls get their story, like how do they end up in that situation and how do they get there happily ever after?
So next I have The Sleepover by Daisy Jane, which comes out July 15th. This is part of the Clearview Country Club. It's a shared world. I think there's 6 or 7 authors, and I believe they're all releasing at the same time, but I could be slightly off on that. So this is, it's her senior year in high school, and her dad is marrying his long distance girlfriend. So they move clear across the country to Florida. And while she's like their first like weekend there or something, she goes to this bonfire down on the beach, meets this guy, and they end up hooking up. Well, the next morning when she comes down for breakfast, the guy she hooked up with is actually her new stepbrother. Oh, and do you think that's good?
Sure, yeah.
There's a permanent reminder of their evening together.
Oh, I love when that happens in books.
Yes, so 2 pink lines. So,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Okay, so my next book is a same day audio release of the book and the audio release on the same day, and that is Savage Promises by Deborah Garland. This releases on July 11th. This is the second book in the Quinlan Empire series, but it can be read as a standalone. This one, I'm really excited for this one. I read the first book in the series and I really enjoyed it. But this is a brother's best friend forced marriage mafia situation. She's the wrong bride. It says something about him having to marry his enemy's daughter. They were friends when they were younger or whatever. And it's not the one he was expecting, it's the sister. So who ends up down the aisle. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, I have Forgotten Dreams by Natasha Madison, which is coming out on July 18th. Audio and the book are coming out at the same time. And so this is Sierra. Sierra finds out she is adopted when she turns 25. So she comes back to Mount Gavin, I think is the name of the town, and maybe not comes back. She goes there in search of some answers. Caleb is going to be renovating her house that she has purchased there. And somebody is not happy that she is there digging up stuff. And I have been thinking about what I think is going on, like sort of since book one, because there's been this underlying situation and I've been piecing little bits together. So I think I kind of know what's happening. I could be way off though. So I'm very excited for it. I'm
Okay.
going to be busy in July.
Same. Very same. Very, very same. Okay, so the next book I have comes out. I messed up my order. It comes out on July 10th because the one I said before this was July.
Oh, you'll also be busy July 10th with me.
I will be because, well, this one I'll actually read before July 10th, and so will you, because this is Domination by BJ Alpha. This is Daddy Venny's story in her Daddy series, and I don't actually need to know anything about this book, just the fact that it's here. So, and it's Daddy Venny. So, yeah.
Yep, done.
Yep, done.
Okay, I got out of order too because I did a July 18th and now I'm going back to July 17th. And this is Rooting Hattie by P. Rain. So this is Piper Rain, the writing duo, but when they write their dark romance, they write under P. Rain. I've not read any of their dark romance, so I'm excited to try this one. So Trent gets caught pickpocketing when he's like 11 years old. This guy takes him in and kind of teaches him like how to, like the world is yours. Leave no buddy, like kind of, aggressive alpha world domination type vibes, it sounds like. Well, Trent becomes a millionaire on his own and he goes back to basically confront his mom for being a shitty mom and like basically be like, I still managed, even though, at 11, I was on my own. And he is floored to find out that she is living a very normal white picket fence life. And she has a husband and this beautiful stepdaughter named Hattie. And so he decides to extract his revenge by going after Hattie. And like any good stalker, he's going to start to develop some obsessive feelings for her. So very excited to read that one.
Okay. On July 16th, Misery in Me by Izzy Ravis is released. This will be a new to me author situation, but I had this on pre-order and I don't remember pre-ordering it, but there had to be a reason why. So I looked to see what it was about. And it is about Gage, who is married to the military. He is a military man through and through. And one day a woman he barely remembers.
Signed up for it.
Well, that and what's coming. One day a woman he barely remembers shows up on his doorstep with a baby girl and is like, here, this is yours. And he knows nothing about kids and he decides he needs a nanny. And so that is where Alejandra comes in and she is working because she's sending money back to her family in Mexico. So we'll find out what's happening with that. And of course she's going to fall in love with the little baby, but she's going to fall in love with the daddy too. So, nanny romances for the win.
Okay.
Okay.
So when she's like, here, you said, here, this is yours. Like she leaves the baby and runs.
She leaves the baby and runs. Is what
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next I have Savage Revenge. I have like a revenge theme going on. Apparently,
I can see that. Yeah.
This is by Kate Oliver. It comes out July 22nd. This is like, I think kind of in her mafia world, but I could be wrong on that. So Cash is out for, it is in the mafia world, because listen to this. Cash is out for revenge when Jordan's dad kills his dad in the streets of Vegas. And so he does what anybody would do in this situation. He kidnaps Jordan.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe at some point, Jordan's not sure that she wants him to let her go.
Stockholm syndrome for the win. Okay.
Okay.
So, the next book I have been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for a couple of years now. This is
Wow.
a rift. I know it's a rift in the House of Bruin, and it comes out on July 24th. It's by TS Kenley. This is, I loved their Neverland series. It was a trilogy. I thought it was amazing. And in that series, we find out the main heroine, the heroine's sister has cancer, and the whole, like, they're trying to save the sister. She's trying to save her sister throughout the whole trilogy because her sister's just dying. And then she ends up bringing her to Neverland. And when that happened, there were these shifter-like creatures that live in Neverland, and they took her basically. And so this picks up where that left off with her storyline, with her and these 7 princes. It is why she was, I don't know if she's going to get all 7. That is a lot of guys for me to pick through. But she is still dying, and they're trying to find a cure. They're trying to fix this for her. So I'm here for it. It'll be I'm assuming it'll be a trilogy as well. So, but the first book will be out in July.
All right.
Okay.
So next I have on my TBR on July 22nd, One Night Seduction comes out by Caitlyn Taylor. So she goes to her best friend's birthday party at this masked sex club, okay? Spends the evening with a particular man. And when mask comes off, she is shocked to find out this is her mom's ex-husband, who is her ex-stepfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like she won the lottery there. Okay. So in fantasy world, she won the lottery. All right. So the next book I have is Texting Dr. Stalker by Pepper Winters. This book is already out. The audio actually just came out on the 24th of June. So I have it on my Kindle. It's waiting for me. This is about Sailor. She is almost unalived by her boyfriend. He strangles her. And when she gets to the hospital, that is where she meets Dr. Alexander, who is the one who treats her, and decides that he needs to protect her. Somehow they end up as neighbors. And when he sees that her life is still in danger, he puts a cell phone into her mailbox and creates the persona of X, who is her stalker, but he'll text her to keep her safe. So she's got one of these stalkers that's really good and takes care of her. Make it make sense. It's going to be interesting. So
I actually bought that book. Thank you for reminding me of that. Like, I think I bought it back in January, and it's been sitting on my Kindle, and I'd forgotten about it. I need to read it.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, now that I'm done with some of the dark and, taboo stuff, I'm going to bring it back to Corinne Michaels. So Against All Odds comes out on July 23rd. So it's important to note the ebook and audiobook come out on July 23rd, but the actual paperback won't release until September 30th. So this is, I don't know her name. She moves back because her ex's husband leaves her for someone else, or I can't remember what her name is. We've heard about her because she is Everett's kind of obsession. They were friends when they were kids. She moved away, got married, and now is coming back. Okay. This is where it gets good though. Everett is more than happy to welcome her back. And it turns out she is actually pregnant with her ex's baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Let us know, is that a video you would like to see? Because I've been reading that a lot lately. So
I haven't. So
let us know. Ooh, maybe that could be a convincing at some point in
that could
time.
be.
You would love
I mean, not
that,
that I
though.
don't like when it
That
happens.
wouldn't
I
be
just don't
very
think
torturous.
that wouldn't be very torturous, huh? No.
Yeah, so never mind. No, I'm kidding. People, if you would like to see that, let us know in the comments.
Okay. So the next book, I'm done with all of my releases. We're into the other stuff now. Yeah. Okay, so I picked this up in Ohio. I'm gonna read Chomp's Challenge this week or this month. Man is just gonna giggle all the way through it. So this is by Darlene Tallman and Nikki Landis. This is oh my gosh, this has it all. This is an MC romance with shifters. He is a crocodile shifter. And our heroine has been through quite the trauma. Her boyfriend actually raped her and then had his buddies rape her as well. So she has some major issues that she needs to work through, some major feelings. And hey, he's going to be there to protect her and to, be there for her. So I'm going to read this one.
All right. My next 5 books are books that have been on my shelf that I really just need to read. So they may have been on past TBRs. I don't know. I just started going through and I'm like, I have got to start working on this. So I just grabbed 5. So here we go. First is Between Never and Forever by Britt Benson. I've been wanting to read this since before we went to Love in Vegas. So it's been a while. They were childhood friends. He, when they were kids, he felt like this need to protect her. His parents didn't want them hanging around each other. He is now a rock star. He is a single dad, and she is now famous herself, and she's come back to town for some reason. And I'm just very excited. It sounds very angsty. Britt Benson writes some good inks, so I'm looking forward to it. It is a little bit hefty, though.
Okay. Well, the next book I have is Monstrous Urges by Jagger Cole. This one is about Drazen and whatever the name of the heroine is. But she's being told by Drazen, who's in the mafia, that he did something pretty terrible to her and that she owes him payback. And because she looks like his dead wife, he's going to force her to marry him and pretend to be his dead wife, or just force her to pretend to be his dead wife. But then there's a tagline that says, but maybe I am his wife. So it sounds like maybe some amnesia situation is going on here.
Interesting.
And the audio just came out for it too. So
okay, so next I have Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. This has been on my TBR for a year because I got this signed when we went to Romance and Dates the Rockies. So
same.
I have a serious problem. So she is seeking a job. She's trying to get away from her abusive, almost ex-husband, and she lands on this cattle ranch, and whatever his name is, Austin, he is not pleased. Like, this is going to be one of those, the grumpy rancher's not happy she's there, but then I'm sure her ex is going to cause problems and he's going to have to step up and realizes that he really has feelings for her. I'm thinking I could be a little off. I don't know. I also really liked the cover.
It's on my bookshelf too.
Is it really?
Yeah, we both got it there. I don't think it was in our swag bag, but I know we both ended up with it. So I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah. Okay. So the next one I have is Surprise for the Sniper, and that is by Sienna Trapp. It's not that kind of sniper. It is a hockey book where our hero gets that name because he's so good at getting the puck in the goal. But this is about our heroine who was in love with this boy and let him go pursue his dream. He left their small town, went to, become a big hockey star, and that is what happened. But he left something behind with her that he doesn't know about when he took off, and now he has returned and things are going to be obvious, I'm assuming.
Did he leave his sperm behind?
Yeah, he did.
That found an egg?
That found an egg.
Okay.
Yeah. And created life. Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay. Next, I have P.S. You're Intolerable by Julia Wolf. I have wanted to read this book for a really long time. This is the dark and quirky edition of it. I don't know why I haven't read it. I have only ever seen positive reviews about it. People talk about it being one of their top reads, all of that. So I don't know why I haven't read it. I don't know a ton about it. In the back, it just talks about the boss is intolerable. She tells him every day. She writes little notes that she leaves in a book and she hides it in her desk. I'm going to assume that maybe he finds that. I don't know. So, maybe. Workplace drama with an intolerable boss.
Yep. Okay, so the next book I have was another one that I picked up in Ohio. This is Ground Zero by Nikki Landis. This is a post-apocalyptic romance. It is setting up an MC post-apocalyptic series, but it is an MFM. It is about these guys, this two guys and this girl who were really good friends. On the 4th of July, Ohio, apparently Columbus has like a really big 4th of July celebration, like most towns do, but and it's like red, white, and boom, I think is what they call it. And this takes place there. Zombies come out of the woodworks. You know, there's a thing, and they have to survive. But somehow it sets up meeting up with an MC. So,
Okay.
okay.
So next I have The Stars Are on Our Side by Jennifer Hartman. I started this back in January, so according to Goodreads, I've been plugging away since then. But I need to just get back. I only got a couple chapters in and I can't remember why I paused it and I just haven't gone back to it. And I'm like, I just need to finish it. Like I want to. So I probably actually at this point need to start over because I was not very far in. But this is Tabitha's story. Tabitha was the only one who got away from the matchmaker. If you don't know about the matchmaker, you really need to start probably with Still Beating. I think that this book would make more sense if you've read Still Beating and maybe even Lotus, I think. And so anyway, so Tabitha has gotten away, but she has a child that is a product of that whole situation, but was with like the love of her life, who is killed during all of that. And so she's got a lot of guilt, I guess. And Gabe, is it Gabe? Is her friend? My TBR book just showed. Yeah, Gabe. Gabe has been there for her, but he also has some sort of troubled past that is going to make things difficult once Tabitha decides that maybe she's ready to try a relationship. I mean, it's Jennifer Hartman. I'm going to assume I'm going to cry. And that there's going to be some serious angst.
So the last book on my list is another one that I picked up in Ohio, but Mandy just finished reading this, and that is Alex Grayson's The King of Hearts. We really haven't talked much about it. It's just really dark and there's some really interesting things. And when Mandy was reading it, I kept telling her, I don't want to know anything. I don't even want to know if he brushes her, her hair. I don't want to know if he's picking his nose in the book. I do not want to know. So I know nothing. I'm going in blind.
I don't think I've ever read a book where the hero is ever described as picking his nose.
Thank God, right? Yeah.
All right. My next book is the first book in, I believe, a 4-book series that you have been telling me to read for literal years. So I am putting it on my TBR. I'm going to do it because we're going to see this author here in about a month. What series is it?
The Four Horsemen.
Yes. So I am going to do it. I'm going to read Pestilence. Pestilence. What a pesty name. So this is by Laura Thalassa. Jessica's talked about this several times. It's like post-apocalyptic, right? It takes place in Washington State. They come down the I-5 corridor. He takes her.
Yep. It starts in Canada and BC and then comes down, but yeah.
So
places
I only know just like what you've talked about it over the years and you keep telling me to read it. So
he's one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah.
And he cannot be killed, it says on the back.
No. She tries in the very beginning. So yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
There you have it. Those are the books we're hoping to get to in July.
I hope I set myself up for success because I think the latest book I have that comes out is July 23rd, which is the Corinne Michaels Against All Odds.
Yeah, mine's July 24th. I didn't do any at the very tail end. So yeah.
So I think I can do it this time.
Let's hope. Okay.
All
right. Well, there you have it.
Okay. Tell us what's on your July TBR. Have you read any of the books that are not our new releases that we talked about that you're like, oh my gosh, you need to read this ASAP? Tell us all the things about your TBR. We'd love to hear from you. Jessica's going to get working on getting those comments caught up soon. We got a little behind from being gone.
Yeah.
But we will get to them. Please don't think we're ignoring you. Okay, make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and usually Wednesdays as well.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.